Hey guys, Jane here, and today I am doing a review on The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. I am going to warn you ahead of time before I even start that there are going to be some minor spoilers. I'm not going to spoil huge things in the book, but there are going to be some plot related spoilers anyway that I feel like I need to address. Otherwise, my review is not going to make a lot of sense. This book is about a gentleman named Monty, and he is the oldest son. He's set to inherit his father's estate. Him and his father don't get along. His father's been very abusive his whole childhood, and he basically hates his dad. And he's not looking forward to taking over the responsibilities of manning the estate. His best friend is Percy, and Monty is absolutely in love with Percy. Percy is, he's mixed, and he's also like his father at least is dead. I don't think we know what happened to his mom. His father's dead, and Percy is being raised by an aunt and uncle who are also, they're like lower ranking than Monty's family, but they're still like important. So Percy's had a good upbringing, and he, has been basically raised with Monty as good friends. Monty is bisexual, so kind of will go either way with anything. I mean, he's kind of a rake hell. He'll kind of go any way with anything. But Percy, he keeps trying to convince Percy that they should kind of mess around, and Percy is just not having it, at least in the beginning. So, anyway, Monty has a sister named Felicity, and she's not a girly girl. She doesn't like she doesn't like the role that she's been given as a woman, and she is very interested in medicine and wants to be a doctor. And we learn pretty early on that she's working towards that pursuit, even though her parents don't know. Anyway, so those are the three main characters, and basically Monty decides to go on a grand tour of Europe. And they're going to take Felicity with them to drop off at a finishing school. And as soon as the tour's over, they are taking Percy he's going to law school, supposedly. Now, minor spoiler here, but you find out so early on in the book that that's not the case. In actuality, Percy is sick, and it's something that's not curable, so they're basically sending him to a sanatorium to die. Even though, he's not terminal either, it's a long-standing illness type thing. So, yeah. So they go on this journey, and they go on this grand tour of Europe. And without being real specifics of the hows and the whys, they end up on a quest for basically the Philosopher's Stone. Not the literal Philosopher's Stone, but alchemists have made a cure-all that will cure any disease. And they are Monty wants to get this thing to cure Percy. And they end up, there's only one of them, these things that cures them. And they're out looking for it, somebody else is looking for it, and basically the middle of the book becomes a very typical adventure, Indiana Jones, Da Vinci Codes type story. You've got these characters, they're trying to find this thing, different stuff happens in the middle, and then they find the thing. I'm not going to tell you any more than that they find the thing, because again, what kind of adventure story would it be if they didn't find the thing? They're captured by pirates, they fight highwaymen. It's just very busy. The middle of the book is very busy. And for me, that's one of the things that really didn't work for me. I gave it a 4 out of 5 because it is so good as far as voice and characters. I really enjoyed the characters in general. Monty gave me some trouble sometimes. It is written in his perspective, and sometimes he's kind of a jerk. But since he's intended to be a rake, and he's intended to kind of grow up during the book, I did cut him some slack. He's a fun character, just sometimes you want to kind of punch him or kick him in the nuts, you know, just saying. He's just not, he just irritated me a lot. But my biggest issue with the book was the adventure story got kind of long and tedious and drawn out in the middle. Basically, this book was really, really good to start for me until about the adventure started, and then I didn't really enjoy it as much until the end. Like, the first quarter of the book was amazing, the last quarter of the book was amazing, the middle half was kind of slow for me. If I hadn't been enjoying the characters so much, I probably would have put it down because it just was very, for me, tedious. I did not enjoy the middle very much. But the character voice was good. I'm trying to see what else. Oh, I loved the character of Felicity. So I liked Monty, but I loved Felicity. I liked Monty's voice, but as a character, he irritated me. But Felicity I love, and I'm really excited to read The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, although because this book was kind of rough for me to read, I'm probably not going to read it right away. I'm probably going to give myself a little break first because I really do want to read the next book, but if it's focused as much on the adventure as the first one was, I'm worried I'm not going to like that one very much either. Again, the plot part. The characters I love, the setting I love, the plot I didn't enjoy so much. Another thing that was amazing, the dialogue in this is hilarious. Just the writing in general was really good. I definitely would recommend it for that. The other thing that was really good, I was so impressed with the ending. And that's so hard to not spoil. So I'm just going to say, a lot of times in the Indiana Jones and Da Vinci Codes and adventure stories, there's not really a cost for the adventure. There's not really true character changes. You're just going along the way. And that was not the case with this book. With this book, it got you to a place. And I really loved the cost for that. So the ending really was very strong for me, and I loved it. I'm trying to see if I have any notes. Oh, the other note I had about things that didn't work. The slow middle, Monty drove me crazy sometimes. And the other thing is, and this is kind of a weird complaint, but I just felt this way as I was reading it, so I'm just going to say it. I felt like it tried to tackle so many issues. And that just felt like too much. Or maybe like it didn't do a lot of them justice. I mean, you're talking about women's position, women's rights, the treatment of blacks, the treatment of gays, the treatment of the ill, just so many, class, so many issues are brought up in this book. Oh, child abuse, so many issues are brought up in this book. And I felt sometimes like it was just a little bit overdone. Like the author was like, what are all the hot button issues that I can throw in here? And what are the hot button things I can explore? And it just, I wish they would have maybe focused less on some things. I don't even know what they could have taken out and it not hurt the story. Because everything was well woven together. It just, at times it was like, it just felt like too much to me. It just very much tackling so many issues. And I felt like at times that got a little in the way of the story. So I do recommend it if you like adventure stories. If you like adventure stories, you will probably really enjoy this. Because like I said, the voice is amazing. It's hilarious. I'm not hugely into adventure stories. I like to watch them on TV. I'll watch Indiana Jones. The only adventure type thing I've really read is the Da Vinci Codes, and I did enjoy those. But the adventure part wasn't great for me, but everything else was. So I did enjoy it. I do recommend it. But if you know that adventure is not your thing, be aware that you're in for kind of a slow ride in the middle. All right, guys, I would love to hear what you thought of the book. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Also, down beneath is all the social media buttons, or the social media links, and the like and the subscribe button if you want to check out any of that. All right, guys, Jane out. See you next time.